Welcome to Fun Facts Daily, your source for just the good stuff. Monday through Friday, we're bringing fun facts and news you can use, all carefully curated to uplift and inform. So give yourself a break, relax, and learn something awesome in just a few minutes every day.
Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Wood, and today we're going to be learning all about frogs. But before we get into the facts, let's warm up our brains with a little challenge to see if you can tell fact from fiction. Consider this. Most of us have heard the old warning that if you pick up a bumpy-skinned frog or toad, you might end up with a cluster of warts on your hands. They say it's a biological defense mechanism to keep predators away, but is this common playground wisdom actually rooted in medical science? What do you think? Could amphibians really be passing their bumpy texture onto your skin by a simple touch? We'll find out at the end of the episode. Now for your word of the day. Our word for today is permeable. That's P-E-R-M-E-A-B-L-E. The word permeable refers to a material or membrane that allows liquids or gases to pass through it easily. Unlike human skin, which acts as a fairly solid barrier to keep the outside world out, a frog's skin is permeable. Our word permeable comes from the Latin permeabilis, where per means through, and miere means to pass or go. Because frogs have permeable skin, they don't actually drink water with their mouths like we do. Instead, they absorb all the moisture they need directly through their skin from the ponds or damp leaves they sit on. This is also why frogs are bioindicators. Because their skin is so porous, they're the first to feel the effects of any changes or pollution in their environment. Time for your daily high five, our top 5 fun facts about frogs. Number 1. Some frogs can be frozen solid and then come back to life when they thaw out. The wood frog, found in the chilly forests of North America, has the incredible ability to survive during the winter even if 65% of the water in its body turns to ice. When the temperature drops, the frog's liver produces a large amount of glucose that acts as a sort of natural antifreeze, protecting its vital organs from being damaged by ice crystals. Its heart can stop beating, and it stops breathing entirely, appearing to be a frogsicle for weeks at a time. But once the spring sun warms the ground, the frog thaws from the inside out, and its heart begins to beat again as if nothing happened. This biological miracle allows them to live much further north than almost any other reptile or amphibian. Researchers are studying this process today to see if it can help us learn how to better preserve human organs for medical transplants. Number 2. Frogs actually use their eyeballs to help them swallow their food. If you ever watch a video of a frog eating in slow motion, you'll notice that they always seem to blink very hard right as they swallow. They aren't just being dramatic or enjoying the flavor. The blink is a mechanical force required to eat. When a frog catches a tasty insect, it doesn't have the powerful chewing muscles or teeth that mammals use to break down the meal. Instead, once the prey is in its mouth, the frog retracts its large, bulging eyes down from the openings in its skull. This physical movement creates a downward pressure, shoving the food down its esophagus and towards the stomach. This unique adaptation frees up space in their head for other sensory organs while ensuring that their dinner makes it to the destination quickly. Number 3. The golden poison frog contains enough toxin to protect itself from almost any predator on Earth. While many frogs use camouflage to hide, the golden poison frog of Colombia uses aposematic coloration, which means its bright yellow skin serves as a loud warning sign for predators to stay away. A single 2-inch frog carries about 1 milligram of batrachotoxin, which is an incredibly potent alkaloid. 1 milligram might not sound like a lot, but it's actually technically enough to affect nearly 10 fully grown humans if it enters the bloodstream. Interestingly, these frogs aren't born toxic. They acquire that chemical defense from the specific diet of beetles and ants they eat in the wild. When raised in captivity on a diet of crickets and fruit flies, they never develop the poison and they're completely harmless. Number 4. Most frogs can leap about 10 to 20 times their own body length, and some can go over 60 times their body length in a single bound. When you see a frog hopping around, they usually jump a few feet, and a lot of people are unimpressed, thinking, I could do that. But when you think about those jumps relative to the frog's body size instead of your own, you start to realize how amazing it is. The cricket frog, for example, can jump about 6 feet. At first, that doesn't sound that big, but when you realize the cricket frog is only about an inch long, if you translated it to a human scale, that would be like being able to jump over the length of an entire football field. They can also jump vertically about 60 times their body size. So imagine being able to jump over a 35-story skyscraper. The explosive power of their jumps comes from highly specialized leg muscles and elongated, stretchy tendons that act like high-tension springs. Before a jump, a frog loads energy into these tendons, and when they release, the energy is discharged all at once. This spring-loading mechanism allows them to accelerate at a rate much faster than their muscles could achieve on their own. It's an essential survival skill, allowing them to get away from the strike of a snake or a bird in the blink of an eye. Scientists today are using high-speed cameras to study these mechanics in the hopes that it will help them design better robotic limbs and jumping drones. And our 5th and final fun fact for today, frogs have a special sort of extra eyelid called a nictitating membrane that acts like a pair of built-in goggles. Frogs are equipped with a translucent, meaning sort of see-through membrane that can be drawn across the eye while they're swimming underwater. This specialized tissue protects the delicate surface of the eye from debris and silt while still allowing the frog to see its surroundings. It keeps the eye moist on land and safe in the water. The nictitating membrane moves horizontally or upwards rather than downwards the way our own eyelids do, so the blink can look a little different. Many other animals, like sharks and owls, can also have this feature, but it's especially vital to frogs who live between two worlds, on land and in the water. It ensures that they're never blind to a predator, whether they're floating on the surface or diving deep into the muck. Now for some news you can use. If you want to help the frogs in your neighborhood, try building a little frog hotel or a simple rock pile in a shady corner of your yard. As I mentioned earlier, frogs have permeable skin, which means they need constant moisture and protection from the hot afternoon sun to keep from drying out. By stacking some old PVC pipes vertically in the ground or piling damp rocks and logs, you create a cool, humid microclimate that acts as a perfect sanctuary. This provides frogs a refuge from predators like neighborhood cats while mimicking their natural hiding spots. Plus, having frogs in your garden is actually great natural pest control. A single frog can eat thousands of mosquitoes and beetles every single summer. Now, if you're really into frogs and want to try to observe them and study them, here's a little pro tip. Instead of using a standard white light flashlight, which usually causes frogs to freeze or dive away in fear, try using a red light filter or a red LED headlamp. Most amphibians have a very hard time seeing light in the red spectrum, so to them, you're basically invisible. This will allow you to observe their natural behaviors, like hunting or calling for mates, without disturbing their nightly routine. Finally, the moment you've been waiting for. At the beginning of the episode, I asked, does touching a frog really give you warts? This one is a fallacy. Warts on human skin are caused by human viruses, not amphibians. Now, as long as I'm clearing up some misconceptions, many people wonder what the difference is between frogs and toads. Toads are actually a subcategory of frogs, so all toads are frogs, but not all frogs are toads. Frogs typically have long legs for jumping and smooth, slimy skin because they spend most of their time in or near water. Toads have evolved for life on land with shorter legs for hopping or walking, and that famous bumpy skin that helps them retain moisture in drier environments. While those bumps on a toad's skin may look like warts, they're actually glands that help them stay hydrated or, in some cases, secrete a bitter-tasting liquid that discourages predators. If you touch a toad, then rub your eyes, you might get some localized irritation, but you definitely won't grow new bumps of your own. So while you should always wash your hands after handling any wildlife just to stay clean, you can rest easy knowing that you're not going to get warts from a toad. Now, I hope you enjoyed learning a bit about frogs with me today, and be sure to tune in every weekday for even more fun facts.
Fun Facts Daily is an Airwave Media podcast. It was written, recorded, mixed, and edited by me, Kyle Wood. Thanks for sharing a part of your day with me. Be sure to follow Fun Facts Daily on your favorite podcast app so you can keep the good stuff coming your way every day. And if you like the show, please do me a favor and leave a kind rating, review, or just tell your friends about it.